This week on Planet Internet, how to lose your startup without losing your faith, understanding the ups and downs involved in investing in Bitcoin, the 10 most traded tech stocks of 2021 so far, a quick visit to a few AI enabled smart cities from Canada to Amsterdam, and the best internet reactions to the Friends reunion. Let's start there. We're joined today by our COO, Ling Smook, who I know has a lot to say on the subject of the Friends reunion. So let's hit pause on that and go straight to Amy and Hung, who are also members of the HackerNoon team, with these two memes regarding Joey Tribbiani and James Corden, respectively. Amy, you're up first. Can you describe exactly what we're seeing on this James Corden meme for our audio listeners?
Excellent. So I'll start by saying to you that I have not yet watched the Friends reunion. So I looked at this meme and I was like, okay, I feel like I understand a lot better now, because it says, I'm sorry if this isn't brand new information, but why in the fresh hell is James Corden hosting part of the Friends reunion? Hashtag Friends reunion. And it is a photo of Rachel and Phoebe and Ross looking audacious.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Now, Hung, will you go ahead and describe the second reaction to the Friends reunion we're seeing now?
Well, it was just like Joey got the same haircut that he got from like 20 years ago. And like it was just like a comparison to like what girl react to the haircut and guy react to the haircut. That is like, I can tell if my barber cut my hair like this, like 1 millimeter shorter than I said, and that I would be very upset about that because I love my hair. Like I am obsessed with my hair, but like I feel like Joey just doesn't give a shit.
He really does look the same too. Like nothing has changed.
How can he do that? He does not age. I mean, maybe. If you like zoom into his forehead.
No, I feel like he aged a lot, like, but I feel like he did a lot of aging from season 1 to season 10 already. Like he looks so cute from the first 2 seasons. And I feel like because he ate a lot of pizza, I guess, like all the fast food just got in on him. And by season 10, I'm like, Joey, you are no longer cute.
Let me rephrase that. I don't think he hasn't aged, but he certainly has kept the same facial structure and the same type of smile. Mm-hmm. And just certainly everything about him, you still can recognize that Joey Tribbiani. Like, that's tough.
I feel like...
Yeah, he does have an iconic look.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't have to act a lot in that sitcom. Like, I feel like they kind of live in the character. So like, it's just like how they are in Friends is how they are in real life. I just feel like it. Like I could tell if I met like Jennifer Aniston or like, and I can say, hey Rachel, what's up? So, yeah. But he definitely looks the same after 20 years. I know why.
100%. Ling, what is your full debrief of the Friends reunion? Let's hear it.
I actually did watch it, and my hot take is I don't hate it. In fact, I think if we just ignore the whole not mentioning of fat Monica because it's so problematic, or the transphobic description of Chandler dad, it's pretty decent as a reunion. You know, if you're a Friends fan, you feel warm, you feel nostalgic, and then you feel like kind of comforted somewhat. My other hot take is I think my main problem with the whole franchise is not the reunion. It's the fact that a lot of people don't understand why Friends resonates so much with a large group of people, even to this day, despite all of this problematic, and I hate using this word, but I just have to keep using it. Kind of this depictions of things. And I think there are a few reasons for it. A large portion of the Friends audience are actually people whose language is not, whose first language is not English. And for example, myself, I'm not the native English speaker. I know a lot of Vietnamese friends who love Friends, India-based friends, who's like friends around the globe. And I think Friends is actually like the gateway for a lot of these people to kind of like understand English and learn English and like understand American culture. So a lot of like, I would say snooty, like comedy, appreciating people is typically in the US would like look at these friends, admirers and be like, yeah, why would you like such a show? So my hot take is it's actually better to understand Friends from like an international perspective and how, you know, like a bunch of beautiful people in their 20s who speak perfect English and who have great chemistry resonate with international people, and how as a culture, like moving forward, we can kind of empathize with that. Now, I don't love Friends anymore because I think I've become whitewashed after coming to America for a while and like appreciating new kinds of comedy. But I think over the weekend, I'm still going to try to write my love letter and my appreciation for this show because it was so influential in my life as a 20-something, as a late teen, and as someone who tried to learn English. So that was
Ling, how long have you been in the US for?
Up and down, I mean, back and forth, but I was 18 when I came here.
Okay. And
I'm 30.
Were you watching Friends when it came out?
No. I was watching it,
so you watched it
as
after.
I tried to learn English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I learned
so when
English
did you pick it up? Like when you started to come to the States?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've never thought about it like that in terms of, so I grew up in Vancouver. I'm Canadian born and raised. And so I've definitely been raised in the North American culture to begin with. I've never thought about it like that, and from an international perspective of having an attachment to it because you learn English from it. I know that a lot of people do learn English from the show, but I guess I never thought about how much of like an emotional impact that would have as well. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, a couple of that with the growing pain of like the 20-something, like unable to date or like dating too much and like just like relationship issues, and how like Friends is actually pretty good at romance, you know, like comedy wise it could improve like the whole laughing track and what have you, but like if you like take that away and just look into the romance, I think it does a decent job. So a lot of 20-something kind of resonate with them that way.
Well, I know we could and would happily discuss this all day, but we must move on to the next segment of Planet Internet. I believe Ling is planning to write a story about Friends / love letter. So be on the lookout for that. But let's move on to the stories of the week. Read anything good on HackerNoon, Amy?
Yes, I read this AI-enabled story, a story about an AI-enabled city. It's about smart cities and how to get it right. I thought this was super interesting because it talks about this Canadian project called Quayside. I didn't know about this before, but it got canceled, quote unquote, due to COVID, but this author really thinks that it had other issues before the project got canceled due to COVID. The project itself is called Quayside, and it was supposed to be an AI-enabled city for Toronto's industrial waterfront. They are essentially saying that Quayside failed to build public trust. So that was one of the key aspects of building an AI-enabled city. And if you don't get that public trust, you won't have a successful AI-enabled city, is essentially what this author is saying. So thank you to Evelyn, who is our HackerNoon contributor.
Nice. Yeah, this story actually prompted me to look at how Amsterdam is using AI in the city. And classic Amsterdam, they have a handy website called the Algorithm Register, which describes exactly how they're doing that. And four of the interesting ways are automated parking control, which makes sense. But then also the 1.5 meter social distancing control and monitors. And I can confirm we have been told to get out of the city center by a drone when it becomes too crowded. So that was pretty intense. They also monitor issues around the city, like litter or garbage being put in the wrong place. And interestingly, monitoring illegal holiday housing rentals, because you're only allowed to Airbnb or sublet your place here for a maximum of 30 nights per year for a maximum of 4 people at a time, which is quite a sort of effective way to combat, I don't know, I guess the decay of communities that tourist towns really suffer from when nobody there is a permanent resident. So yeah, I don't know, Ling, if you have any thoughts about that story in terms of AI-enabled cities.
Sorry, my brain is like fried. So can we cut this story?
Have you been to
not
an
prepared to have
AI-enabled
it
city?
Perfect.
Have you been to Singapore
Thank
or
God
something?
for editors.
I was like, oops. I have been to Singapore, but I don't think I noticed that it was AI enabled that much.
Well, this is the
Okay.
thing, right? Are they asking permission at any point to use these technologies? Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so Singapore is one of the smartest, I think it is the smartest city in the world. And I think they have, I don't know specifically what it is, but I think they have a lot of AI around the city. They have a lot of high tech. It's supposed to be like a super high tech city. I've been there once, but I also didn't really notice, like, which is to say maybe they have integrated in so well that it's just collecting all our data or monitoring us or something. I don't know.
What I do notice is it looks a little bit like a simulation. Like, I feel like there's the same exact number of leads on each of the tree as I drive to the airport from any hotel. Maybe it's just my paranoia, but I feel like there's an engineered exact number of leads on each tree. It just, everything looks too perfect. And the last time I was in Singapore was, 6 years ago, and I still have that lasting impression about the place.
Let's move on to the 10 most traded tech stocks of 2021, shall we? Hung, do you want to tell us a little bit about this story?
Okay, so definitely we know that 2020 and 2021 was like 2 crazy years for stock. Like, we start 2021 with like the whole GameStop thingy, and I don't categorize GameStop as a tech stock, but it was crazy. So like, this article basically talk about what are the most traded stock in 2021 so far, because we're just like 5 months into 2021. So like, I don't know how he categorized the most traded. I mean, like maybe like the most people who bought it or whatever, but it just like lists out 10 most popular tech stock in the tech category. And first we have Apple. Who doesn't know Apple? I mean, like, if you are new into stock market, I feel like you should buy Apple at some point in your life, because I don't see Apple going away anytime soon. I'm buying Apple, and like every time it goes down to like 5%, I just bought it and I also reinvest. Tesla is an interesting case, because I don't know if I should tell people like, should you buy Tesla? Because I do adore the mind of Elon Musk, but I hate him. I don't like him at all. Like, I don't know. But like, so the truth, like, if you ever look at, I had the opportunity of like going to Silicon Valley, and my roommate was like fan stuff obsessed. So like we technically visited all the tech campus you can think of. And I saw like, and we went to Facebook campus. And before we got kicked out, I saw like a whole line of Tesla cars just charging over there. And oh my God, they look spectacular. Like I'm like, if tomorrow Ling raised my salary by like 5x, I would definitely put some of my money into Tesla. Or like, and then we have Intel. We have a couple more like Intel and Inside Enterprise. They are okay. I don't like Intel because I bought it, but it kept going down to the point I'm like, whatever. I would just like see if I can break even and I sell it away. We have Microsoft, number 6, which is like, I love that stuff. Like it was like my first official stuff I bought back in 2018 for my 20th birthday. And it just go up. Like, I don't care how people trust it. I love it. I don't know a photo. I don't know much about it. But if you are interested in like Chinese and Hong Kong stuff, I would say like Alibaba or Tencent is a way better choice for you. Alphabet is okay, typical, basic. AT&T is okay. I don't care a lot. I know Lima like AT&T because it pays dividend. So they are pretty good dividend stuff. Like if you care about dividend at all. So like if you buy a bunch of stuff and you got dividend by quarter, it's okay. I don't care much about dividend. I care more about growth. So for me, this list is good. I mean, I have like more than 2 stock in this list. So I would definitely like recommend you give this list a go. And this list is easy enough to understand because if you go into like overly technical financial analysis website like Seeking Alpha, like you would doze off after 5 minutes reading that unless you work in like, I don't know, Wall Street. So I would really recommend the article for like a read if you are like new into stuff and you want to know like what tech stock to buy without having to like, if you're like a passive investor, definitely like give that article a go.
Nice.
Could I also add, sorry, that Hung and Lee Mark had an even more extensive discussion on other stocks that they buy beyond this list on a blogging post. So maybe we should link it over there as well for the listeners to learn more.
Yeah, I'm so ready to be trusted by Wall Street analysts. I love that. I love it. Let's just get us trust. Like, it's okay.
Literally, my only comment is that I would also start investing, Ling, if you 5x my salary.
I'll sit on it.
Nice, everyone. So that was to wrap up the 10 best tech stocks, the most traded in 2021. Forecasts: Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Intel, and Alphabet coming out top. According to HackerNoon, you heard it first, so read it there. Speaking of startups, any startup funding or acquisition news in your area recently, Amy?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so I was just reading this article on the Daily Hive, which was written by an author called Sam Chan. His name is Sam Chan. And it's a very Vancouver-based publication, which is really exciting. So this article is very Vancouver focused, which I love. He talks about the Grizzlies, and he talks about all of the different like Vancouver tech startups. He talks about, and then he specifically talks about Dapper Labs, which is a Vancouver-based company. You might have heard of them. They are the company behind the NBA Top Shot, and they are also the company behind CryptoKitties. So super exciting that it's Vancouver-based. They made the headlines again this week, though, because Michael Jordan just invested in their company, and he is joined by other NBA players. You know, I don't know them, but they're there. Where's David when we need him? The resident HackerNoon basketball expert.
100%. Ling would probably have something to say about that, but also on the subject of investments. Ling had been talking this week about a story regarding the ups and downs of investing in Bitcoin.
Absolutely. It's from one of my favorite HackerNoon writers, Noam Levinson. And we went into details on kind of like what happened with the bear and the bull market back in 2017 up until now. We see a lot of crypto boom, and then we see the latest sudden kind of dip. And then it went into details about how there are like types of people that just want to get into crypto just to get rich, specifically to get into Bitcoin to get rich. And he does not think at all that it's a smart idea. If you can scroll down to the summary, the TLDR at the end.
Wait, people invest to not get rich? Is that not the point? I'm mind blown.
The thing about crypto is that everything is very unpredictable, both the booms and the dips. Okay, so unless you are extremely lucky and get there at the exact right time, chances are sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you don't. It's just kind of like a coin toss. So his whole kind of thesis is around, if you want to invest in crypto, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, go for it, but don't expect to at least instantly get rich. Okay, you'll get disappointed. Bitcoin and definitely blockchain are here to stay, but you should invest in it for the long term and for the technological kind of advancement it will bring to the society. So I basically extremely agree with it. We do have certain vested interests in certain crypto, but I don't think I should disclose it on this podcast. What I do learn from the experience, though, is it's like throwing shit on the wall. Like you never know, like you can do all the right thing and then you just become a day trader and can't really have time to do anything else. So just toss all of your expectation and your speculation aside, toss all of the whatever expert advice aside, and just kind of like invest in it for the long-term results. Then you'll feel this sense of peace and this sense of like, I have a little bit of like kind of skin in the game, and I'll trust that it'll return in the long run.
Yeah, I want to add like my 2 cents on this one. Is that like crypto is not unlike stock or unlike any other currency, as you know. You don't really have like anything to base it on. Like if you invest in a stock, you can base the price and whether you should buy it or not based on the industry and the financial report and like the product and like how much it can grow in the future. Or like if you're going to go global, you want to buy some foreign currency, you can like I would deny that you should buy like a Venezuela. I don't know what is the currency of Venezuela, but like it's not like a fiat currency that you can like base the current economy situation of the country on. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general is very unstable, and I feel like 60% or like almost whoever buy a coin don't even know like what is that for. So buying it, if you go into invest, you shouldn't like in anything like stock, currency, crypto, Bitcoin, even like fiat money. You shouldn't expect to get rich like over the night, and just don't put all your saving into like a portfolio. From like, I feel like you should buy crypto when you want to diversify your assets and you think it's interesting, like my case. Asaf told me to buy it, so I buy it.
Always solid advice to listen to our VP of sales at Trump.
Can confirm. I think we can disclose, by the way, Ling, right, that we are one of the increasing number of companies that are offering employees the opportunity to accept part of their salary in Bitcoin.
That is correct. We do have about 5% or 7%, I believe, of our total kind of holding money in crypto, mostly Bitcoin. And we offer the opportunity for anyone who wants to be paid instantaneously to be paid in Bitcoin.
And I think that's pretty cool. So staying with startup news, the startup that I can't stop thinking about this week is called Gorillas. They are an on-demand grocery delivery startup. They raised 290 million back in March and surpassed a 1 billion valuation. The reason why I can't stop thinking about them is because I live in Amsterdam, as aforementioned, and these guys won't stop embarrassing me with their incredible ability to speed cycle on like these old bikes sometimes even. And they just speed right past me as a non-native cyclist. And it's embarrassing, but they also do deliver groceries in under 10 minutes. And their growth has been explosive. I'm seeing more and more of them on the roads. And I just think that's really an interesting indicator of the needs of our generation, that we don't necessarily like to go outside too much when not necessary. And we prioritize convenience, even if it costs €1.15 extra or whatever the delivery fee is. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting startup. Ling, do you have any responses to that? You had some Colorado startups on your mind this week.
Yeah, so this month in particular, I've been approached by at least 2 or 3 lawyers about kind of like the prospect of moving some of their practices to rural Colorado, which I thought was interesting. And then there's this news coming out this week of 2 Western Slope startups that actually exiting successfully to public companies. One of them I do know, in fact, is this Montrose, which is a rural place in Western Colorado. Startup called Nomad Reservations. I know the founder, Heath Pagan, and he was actually in the same cohort as HackerNoon when we got the $150,000 investment from GCVF, Greater Colorado Venture Fund. So yeah, I think the gist of the article just kind of explained, why rural Colorado startups kind of start looking more appealing to investors. I think a lot of it has got to do with, honestly, COVID. People moving to the outdoors, to like places with less density more, and investors just kind of like branch outside of Silicon Valley and outside of like crowded, New York or whatever the hubs of the world pre-COVID. And so I thought it's very interesting that HackerNoon, as a startup, started in San Francisco and now based in rural Colorado, could totally work with a team of 40 people all over the world, all over the country. As a completely remote operation, I thought that could signal kind of like this trend to investors and to lawyers, like all these like practices surrounding startups, that there is more to the startup world than like a couple of hubs. And yeah, watch out New York, watch out Silicon Valley.
Awesome. And what about you, Hung? How's the startup scene looking in Detroit?
Yeah, I also want to like add my 2 cents on Link's previous comment about like startup moving out Silicon Valley and New York City, which is true. Actually, like the trend has started back in like 2018 or 2019. I remember reading about startups slowly moving out of the 2 cities because it was like hella expensive. in like San Francisco and New York. So like people are moving to like Austin, Texas, or Denver, Colorado, or like that area. And about the startup scene in Detroit, I found like a lot. Like I found a couple of startups that like I've been watching for a long time, but I don't know they were based in Detroit. And I'm not going to be like a resident of the city of Detroit anytime soon. But I know this company called Autobooks. So it's lame. It's about accounting and finance software, which is super lame compared to other startups we've been talking about. But like, if you work in
why am I not surprised that you know this startup?
I think you just mean unsexy.
It's unsexy.
Non-glorious.
It's like down to earth. But like, yeah, so like if you work in a startup and like if you work my job, which my Slack bio is, you can see me run around everywhere because I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. No, I don't mean that. But if you work in like accounting and finance for a startup, like things can get shitty real quick, especially like when you work for like a high growing startup like HackerNoon. Like I can't recall how many times I had to categorize everything on our QuickBook. It's just a pain. It's just super labor focused, just super manual. And I think Linh can share the same pain with me. Or like sometimes our clients just don't pay, or like they delay to pay just forever. So like I found Autobook. I don't know like if we should try them out, but they offer like market trend in your industry or in your area, and then they can like they help you like to get paid real quick. Like they can trigger a reminder or something, or like they can automate. Yeah, I think you have to Google. Yeah, they can automate like your financial statement, so you don't have to like go in and manually try everything out like I did last quarter. So I think it was pretty neat. Just because like it helps small and middle-sized business for like with the accounting and finance, which a lot of us just like don't really have much knowledge about. Like I feel like most of the startup founder and executive, they don't have a background in accounting and finance at all. I'm sorry, but like they don't have like a deep background in accounting and finance. So like tool like this really help them just upload some of their work.
Yeah, this is definitely the least sexy startup.
Oops.
But we respect your commitment.
I mean, okay, look at me. I live in Detroit. I feel like Detroit is like the least sexy city we have here.
The business analyst comes in. I love it.
I mean, hey, let's check out. What would you say would be the keyword for that? How many stories are tagged accounting on HackerNoon?
Nothing?
At least 29, People care.
Come on.
29.
29 glorious stories.
Those are your people.
Yeah, people still read my story on Bumble. People still read my Bumble story.
Hot HackerNoon tip for our listeners. If you go to hackernoon.com/tagged, you can check out all the top 27,000 plus. There's definitely more than that. Tag pages and all of the stories. For example, blockchain, just as a comparison to accounting, has 6,889 stories.
I mean, I don't blame them because like I remember I fake all of the reason not to go to my accounting class. Like you don't know. I'm like, I can email my professor like, hey, I feel so bad today, but like I would understand. Or like I remember during my accounting final, I sent my final to my professor, but I didn't attack the document. So he had to email me twice. Like, hey, where's your final? You send me an email, but where's your final? So I shared your hatred to accounting and like my hats off to all the CPA out there. I'm like, how do you guys do that?
Listen, I will edit the accounting articles. Let's do it. Accountants, rejoice. Submit your articles. I will edit them all.
Yeah.
and we will grow the accounting section of HackerNoon
Or
to
finance.
bigger than blockchain.
Yeah, or
Let's
finance.
go.
You heard it here
I'm ready.
first.
Let's go. You
I'm
have
down
two
for
very
it.
cute. You have two very cute HackerNoon staff here. Let's go.
All right, so let's wrap this thing up with a final around the room. 2 questions. Which tech product, app, or podcast, whatever, is sparking joy for you this week? And which friend are you? I'll go first.
Oh my gosh.
No pressure. So
No pressure.
in terms of which tech product is sparking joy for me this week, I've been using the Bose noise cancelling headphones, the latest version, the 700, for a week now. Definitely sparking joy. Super sleek design, feels just really good. Noise cancellation drowns out the world. It's like being underwater. Plus really fun gestures and shortcuts, which remind me of my AirPods and bring me a lot of comfort. So overall, 10 out of 10. And second question, I'm definitely a total Phoebe. How about you, Amy?
Oh, I can see you being a Phoebe for sure. I I am getting back into my Kobo. Yes, I said Kobo, not Kindle. Suck it, everybody. Listen. The Kobo is the only one that connects with the Canadian library system. What am I supposed to do? I'm using the Kobo. Team Kobo all the way. I love it. Currently, I am reading the Maya Angelou book. So, and then as for which Friends character I am, take a wild guess. I'm obviously Rachel Green. I am the center of attention, and I have a comment about everything. Obviously, I'm Rachel Green. Ling, who are you?
I love this question so much. I'm a total Monica. Top down. Like, I have no other friends character that I can relate to, even a little bit.
Can
I'm
confirm.
100%, no, 150% Monica. As for tech that sparking joy this week, I literally just got this Apple Pencil and the iPad Air, like this morning. And I've been writing messages on Slack with my handwriting, which turns into text, which totally blows my mind.
I am losing my mind for that. Really? That's interesting, because I was debating the Remarkable 2. Have you seen that? It's like a notepad that does the same thing. But if I could get that all out of
it as well.
Oh, I need that.
But it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it instantaneously. So like you have to like write the thing and then convert it. Well, at least the Remarkable one, which is what we have.
I've got to tell you guys a quick story about Apple, since we're on the subject of being ultimately loyal to Apple. Case in point, it does everything. Got to get me that iPad, whatever. But I went to the Apple store the other day, and on the way out, the assistant who had entertained my debating which Apple Watch strap would best suit my skin tone for approximately 45 minutes, he thanked me for my energy. And I just thought that was the most Apple thing to ever happen, to be thanked for my energy on the way out of a store in which I just dropped half of my savings account. It was just so great. So Apple for life.
Minutes.
Apple for life, bro. You have to make an appointment. They say it's 15 minutes long. I'm like, you will hear me out and stand by me and sanitize everything I touch for 45 minutes.
My AirPods stop working. Yeah, I'll give you more money for other AirPods. Absolutely. Like, just take my money.
100%.
Last week, my tech recommendation was also the iPad Air, Ling. Yes.
Guess what? I listened to it, and I listened to it, like, really.
Oh my God,
like,
yes.
You know what? Yes.
Any potential sponsors?
Whatever. Give it all to me.
Just a shout out to any potential sponsors listening to this podcast. This is proof. Just put your shit on HackerNoon. People are going to buy it.
Yeah. Sorry
Hung,
to
what
cut
about
you
you?
off. Hung, what about you?
Wow, I was kind of hoping you guys forgot about me. All right,
Never.
so this is not this great, but like one of my favorite app is Libby, Libby, and that's where my roommates start talking. Love that. So Libby is like it connects to your library, and you can check out some book about from your library to your Kindle. Libby is like a Turing company, a Turing app of Overdrive. So if you use Kobo, you can also use Overdrive to like borrow book from
Yes,
your
that's what I
local
used
library.
too. Libby,
Yeah.
yes.
So I use Libby. So like that's my most favorite because I'm the kind of person who like if you don't put any noise beside me, I couldn't focus on anything. Like I have to have like something playing beside my ear. Like it's especially when I sleep because like I have like difficulty to sleep. About what friend am I? I don't know because but Lynn told me that I'm a Chandler Bing.
I can see you
So,
being
like,
a Chandler, yeah.
yeah, a Chandler.
Because you're kind of like goofy, but also like very anal about things.
yeah, so I guess
Use
like,
humor as a coping mechanism.
Yeah,
yeah. So like and like Chandler happened to me like my most favorite friend's character. So I'm okay with that. I guess like I'm a Chandler. Yeah.
Is he not
And
also an accountant?
No, so he was.
What does he do?
He's the transporter. Whatever.
So he's someone who's like data transporter. I mean like he was like the richest of the sick until he quit the job and do some marketing thing. But like he was the richest because
Loser.
like yeah, because like that job with his experience can go to like six figure, no joke, in New York City. Like imagine like I can use humor as a coping mechanism, and I can earn six figure. I'm okay with that. I just want to be rich. So this is a free reminder to link to 5x my salary.
Yeah.
Point taken from this podcast. I have one CTA to walk away with.
Okay, cool. I think that's a wrap, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, review, do whatever you got to do to make this thing a bigger green blob in the cloud, and keep the dream of an independent HackerNoon alive. I guess see you on the internet. Thanks for listening, and thanks for taking part our panel this week on Planet Internet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.